Morning, Anna. Thanks for being with us today.
Good morning.
So you're here at the Global Landscapes Forum representing GGGI. What does your organization do?
GGGI is a new international organization. It really is only established officially in 2012. It's the Global Green Growth Institute with the headquarters in Seoul. And we now have 27 member countries, so we have country teams in these member countries as well, working directly with our country government counterparts. The aim of GGGI, our goal is really to build an inclusive green growth and work with our country governments to support them to build this kind of economy in their countries. We do that through 4 thematic areas: energy, green cities, water and sanitation, and sustainable landscapes, and I lead the sustainable landscapes work.
Great. So let's talk about the report that was presented here at the Global Landscapes Forum, Smoke on Water, which talked about peatlands and how to finance their management.
Yeah, I'm glad there is a report now. I think it's great to see this first global assessment on peatlands. It's been totally undervalued. Ever since sustainable development started, I think, and then biodiversity convention, and then the climate change came, but nobody saw how important peatlands were, and now I think it's great to see the emphasis towards peatlands. So the report very much explains that we need to protect the remaining peatlands that's there. We need to first of all understand and map them and know how to monitor them, but then we need to protect the remaining ones. We need to re-wet the ones that are degraded, and particularly in developing countries, the issue is that in these areas there are people living, and that's so important. You don't want to constrain them from economic growth. So how do you restore and re-wet these peatlands while still maintaining or ensuring that you're generating economic growth and economic opportunities for the people there, jobs, people want jobs. So that's where we then come in. Our angle is very much around how can we work also with the private sector and bring private capital into restoration projects. What we contributed to in this report was a business model that we're working with the government of Indonesia. In Indonesia, direct government counterpart is the Ministry of Planning. For this particular peatland project, we work with BRG, which is the Indonesia Peatland Agency.
And what were some of the recommendations you made?
We looked at that hydrological landscape or the peatland landscape in 3 zones. You've got the core zone, the buffer zone, and the outer zone. The core zone that needs fully protection requires financing for re-wetting and canal blocking and all of that effort in the core zone. That requires money. The Indonesian government is allocating budget for this restoration, but it's not enough, so we're trying to figure out how can we bring private capital, there are private concessionaires also there that can contribute to this, and at the same time climate financing can support, so carbon financing can be used also to bridge the gap. That's part of the core area. Then you have the buffer zone and the outer zone, where you can grow crops. You can grow species that are suitable in wet conditions. We've looked at one particular species called gelam. It's a Melaleuca species. It generates many products. One is timber and poles, sawn timber that can be used for general construction. The leaves, if you distill this, you can get oils, essential oils, also very useful, and there's a market to that as well. The tree flowers throughout the year, and you can also use it for honey production, which has been also practiced in many parts there as well. We need to work in finding the right markets, access to the markets, and build the community cooperatives or the smallholders, so that making sure that there is a value chain that they can work in.
In the past, was there a non-existent business case for peatlands? Is this the first time that something's coming together, in your opinion?
I think this is quite nascent. There are business cases in the forest sector and in the agriculture sector more generally, but on actual peatlands, I think there are very few. We hope to see that this business model, which looks at it from a landscape angle, can be useful for others to look into as well as they take on this. Think about peatland restoration from the angle of self-financing in the future. And I think the key message here is that you have to use a variety of financial instruments to make it work.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.